Hello, hello, hello. It is Monday. How is everyone? I hope you guys are doing good. The Poxitani Phil came out yesterday and saw his shadow, which whatever. It is what it is. I'm not going to worry about something I can't control. But apparently we're in for 6 more weeks of winter. I don't know how true that is. I don't really even know how accurate Poxitani Phil is, since we're probably at least on our 5th or 6th, maybe even 10th Poxitani Phil. I don't know how long groundhogs, how long they live. I don't know what their average lifespan is. I don't know how they're taking care of this guy. I don't know these things. But anyway, hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you guys are ready to clear your schedules because we got a trial coming up. And I'm gonna stream the Megan Boswell trial. Just like a little update. I've been going back and forth, and I want to ask you guys what you think. Okay. Remember back when I very first started doing trials, how I would cover the trial like not knowing anything about it, just going based on what was presented in the courtroom and comment like that. And then, of course, there's the other trials that I've covered where I know all the things. Which would you rather have? Uh, would you rather have a trial where we do a like a trial prep right before the trial starts? Or would you rather me cover the trial and just be like, I mean, it's not like I didn't follow the case. I did. But I don't think I had, if I did have my channel, it was very new. Like not when Evelyn went missing. I don't think I had my channel then. But anyway, um, just something to, just something to think about what you guys want, okay? Which either way, because right now they're going through jury selection. Now they sent out, I've heard different numbers, something like 1,600, and then I heard 1,200 jury questionnaires, and they've already got like they've dismissed a bunch already. Then they've already got some that are like set to the side and set to the side. Um, so like, I don't know. I'm thinking that it's probably going to be, well, Sarah's took like 4 or 5 days, I want to say, Sarah Boone's. And she's sitting in jail just as long as Megan has been sitting in jail, waiting trial. Um, I think that while Megan's case got a huge following initially, Megan hasn't, she's pulled shenanigans, don't get me wrong, but not to the level that Sarah has, like the letters, something tangible that people can read out and read and stuff like that. So I'm thinking that while her case is probably well known, also, I highly doubt that they're going to put the jury selection on pause while they wait for Megan to get brought different shoes that are not jail slides like Sarah's. Plus, there's not a hurricane. So there's that as well. No, I'm going to cover the whole day, Neat Noodle. No naps for Bindi. I'm going to stay awake the whole time. I'm going to cover the whole day because usually if I take a break, then I don't really want to come back in the afternoon. I'm had lunch, my tummy is full, I'm a little sleepy, it's nap time, all the things. So I feel like the best way for me to do it is to just do it. Do it all day, and that way we can cover it all and be together and listen together and hear it all. So maybe what I'll do is um, just the basics for the trial prep because Allie Alex Erickson, Allie, she did a really good job doing the trial prep. And I don't, I don't need to do like, there's no need to like go over. She did such a good job. So, I mean, I view some of the stuff um, the same way that Allie does, but I always have my own commentary. I don't know, but she did such an amazing job. It's like I almost don't actually need to do a trial prep, like not an in-depth one. So maybe what I'll do is um once we have a jury seated, I'll plan like um well, I started to talk shit, Allie, but then I was like, no, she might be in the chat. Let me stop. Just kidding. I would never talk shit about you. I ain't got no shit to talk. Um, but yeah, I feel like just like an overview. And then we'll go from there. Sound like a plan? Okay. Um, so what we're here for tonight. Uh, so I don't know if you guys peeped the thumbnail, but that is my take on the cover of the movie poster from the Godfather trilogy. Because I feel like in the Adelson family, Donna Adelson is pulling all the strings. She is the puppet master, and now she's doing even more. So, what had happened was evidently, oh, Jem, that's really sweet of you. Thank you so much. If you guys got a gifted membership, please thank Jem.
Outstanding.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you for supporting me in the channel. Yay, thank you so much.
Outstanding.
Um, okay, so this is what has happened. Apparently,
Outstanding.
people who were being held in jail at the same time,
Outstanding.
Katie Magbanua, or Katherine Katie Magbanua,
Outstanding.
has some things to say about her. And essentially, what they're claiming is that what they were told by Katherine Magbanua supports what Charlie Adelson and now Donna Adelson are saying, which is that they were blackmailed by the quote unquote real killers. Okay. That they were not, okay, Allie. I can go in depth if you guys want. It's really up to the listeners. Um, let's just play it by ear. How about that? I'll just surprise you. So evident, like I said, that it supports what Charlie Adelson and now Donna Adelson have claimed that they were being blackmailed by Katie and her baby daddy. And that they just for whatever reason decided, let's just take out Dan Markel for no, I mean, we don't know him. We don't have a grudge against him, but we're going to take him out and then we're going to blackmail the Adelson family. As if like, that doesn't even make I know what you meant, babe. I know what you meant, babe. That doesn't even make sense. Like, not that murder ever makes sense, but if you're going to come up with a story, it needs to be in the realm of things that could possibly have happened, right? This story is in the realm of things that could not have at all possibly happened. It makes no sense. Now, is it true that strangers kill strangers all the time? Yes, that does happen. Okay. However, they typically don't come from another state to do it. And it's not, so this was clearly targeted. The murder of Dan Markel benefited one person and one person only. I'm looking at you, Wendy. And at the end of the day, Donna would have done anything for her daughter, and she did. So what we really have, in my estimation, is the reverse scenario. It's the same scenario, but two different types, right? So with the Pike County Massacre, we have the Devil's Rejects, right? In the Wagner family. In the Adelson family, oh, they're still the devil's rejects. They're just a bougier version. That's it. That's all. That's it. They just had more money. That's it. That's all. They're not better people. They're not a better class of people. They're not. They're monsters. And they're no different than the Wagner family. They just dress better. And that's it. And they and I think they thought that they could get this blackmail, some people to buy this blackmail because they have money, and that's it. And that makes, oh, well, yeah, maybe they are. No, nobody believes that story. Nobody believes that story. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm parched. Anywho, basically, there's this hearing, and we have to shout out Deep Dive True Crime Mentor Lawyer, because this is his video. This actually took place on the 29th of January, excuse me, and I did watch it. I watched the hearing on Deep Dive True Crime, but Donna Adelson appears by Zoom, and the audio, the audio is not great, but it's much better than I suspect it was originally. I mean, I can tell that it's been enhanced, which that fixing audio is not an easy process. It is a bit tricky. So anyway, shout out to Deep Dive True Crime. I'm going to copy this link and put it in the chat for you guys, because I really want you to go over and subscribe to Deep Dive True Crime. Mentor Lawyer, who runs the channel Deep Dive True Crime, has done some absolutely amazing work with the Adelson case. He has followed it from the entire time. He's super down to earth. I do enjoy his channel a lot. So, oh, really, Jem? Tutti fucking fruity. So, yeah, I just really like Mentor Lawyer. Oh, and in Boone news, Boone has sent another letter. This time, though, it is not handwritten. It was typed, which I'm quite shocked about, because as we all know, Sarah Boone has the handwriting of a serial killer. She's got great penmanship. She's like not at all a good person at all, but she's got great penmanship. Anyway, basically, I'm going to give you two guesses about what she's upset about, and the first one doesn't count. Okay. Here's the deal. Sarah Boone, big mad. She knows who her appellate attorney is. Big mad, her appellate attorney has not contacted her, and she's upset about it. That's it. That's all. It's not that big of a deal. This hearing was about whether or not they should allow these two inmates who were in jail at the same time Katherine Magbanua was in jail to testify. So that is what this hearing that y'all actually came to hear about. And I've talked about everything else except for that. And now I'm back on task, out of the weeds, on subject. That's what we are going to be talking about this evening. So I'm going to add it to the stream. And this is such a weird departure, because typically defendants are anti jailhouse informants, snitches, if you will, testifying. The defense makes like a big deal about it. What are they getting for doing that, for testifying? What's in it for them? Yada, 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 whatever. And so that's what we're going to listen to. So let's get over here to this and play it. Here we go.
Let's go ahead and get started. State versus Donna Adelson, 2023 CF 3226. This is the defense's motion to perpetuate testimony.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
And I think I'm going to step up there. It doesn't appear that this microphone is working.
Go ahead.
Josh Mazelman on behalf of Ms. Adelson. Your Honor, we filed an expedited motion perpetuating testimony concerning anticipated testimony of two potential witnesses. They've been identified in the motion as Cassidy Conroy and Brittany Purcell. They've given statements both to Ms. Adelson as well as to a temporary investigator that we retained for that purpose. Namely, as I identified in the motion, their testimony concerns statements that were made by Katherine Magbanua while she was incarcerated at the Leon County Detention Center pending her two trials.
Before you continue, Mr. Zellman, why was not all this actually contained in the plea itself?
Excuse me, Your Honor. I don't want to be rude, but I have to highlight this comment because you were saying exactly what I was thinking. Yana said, Georgia just chilling on the side took me out. She stood there with her arms folded like she was in line for concert tickets. Yeah, to a concert she didn't even want to go to. She looks annoyed AF. I actually enjoy Georgia Kappelman. I can't speak. I think she just her standing there like this. Essentially, Georgia is just showing us physically through body language, basically what we're all feeling and thinking. This is utter poppycock. This to me sounds so contrived. This sounds like some made up horse shit, straight from the puppet master herself, Donna. Why are we just now hearing this? Okay. Katherine Magbanua was in the Leon County Detention Center for quite some time, over several years. And at the end of the day, why are we just now hearing from these two? Like, she looks like she's waiting in line at a concert for Yanni when she really wants to be seeing Metallica. Honestly, that's that body language. All right, here we go.
So that you're laying out right now.
I didn't want to put everything in the written motion, Your Honor, since it gets played over and over and over in the media and podcasts and whatnot.
Forget about the media. I'm going to the sufficiency of the pleading itself and what the rule requires. Does this pleading meet the requirements of the rule itself?
I would say yes, Your Honor. The issue is the rule requires after the filing of an indictment, the defendant or state may apply for an order to perpetuate testimony. Application shall be verified or supported by the affidavit of credible persons that a prospective witness resides beyond the territorial jurisdiction of the court or may be unable to attend or be prevented from attending a trial or hearing. That the witness's testimony is material and that it is necessary to take the deposition to prevent the failure of justice. Your Honor, the statement of materiality of their anticipated testimony concerns the motive and implies that state witness Katherine Magbanua's anticipated testimony at trial covers those issues. The motive and or bias of the state witness is always going to be relevant and material for purposes of cross-examination, and certainly concerning the statements that we have at issue here.
Why these individuals cannot be available is really going more to the heart of this.
Well, Your Honor, the concern that we have is based on their track record over the last X number of years and statements that they have made to Ms. Adelson. Our concern is that they will not be available because they will go back to using drugs and will not either potentially not be able to be located or may not be competent to testify depending on the condition that they are in at the time. The issue for our purposes now is.
All right. Are you guys getting all of this? The defense has concerns, okay? And I am not, and I want to make this very, very clear. I am not in any way, shape, or form addict shaming, but the reality of the situation is the reality of the situation, okay? The defense, these are these are witnesses that the defense intends to call essentially to impeach Katherine Magbanua's testimony. Okay, she's expected to testify again, and obviously she'll be testifying for the state against Donna Adelson in this trial. Okay. And the defense, although they find whatever it is that these women have said, and I guess we're going to hear that in a moment, whatever they've told Donna Adelson about things that Katherine Magbanua has said, at the end of the day, there's concerns about whether they will be able to be located at the time of trial, whether they will be in any type of sober condition to testify for Donna Adelson. And that's a problem. I mean, at the end of the day, any witness that gets on the stand, it doesn't matter which side they're testifying for, the first thing that the other side is going to do is going to come at their credibility every single time. And for lay witnesses like this, it's no different than the defense. When Katherine Magbanua testified last time at Charlie Adelson's trial, the defense tried to poke as many holes in the things that she said. They said, well, you said this, 2 years ago, 2 months ago, 2 days ago, whatever it was. And they were constantly at her, which is exactly what they're supposed to do. That's their job. My problem is, to me, this just sounds made up. While this would be, I don't even really give a rat's fat kneecap about any of the other stuff that's going on, like why they're in jail or whatever, or, whether or not they can be sober when testifying. Like, I don't even really care about that at this point, because to be honest, at this point, to me, their story sounds made up. So I don't even know, like, I that's the problem. It sounds like this to me sounds like they got paid in some honey buns, maybe some stamps. I'm not sure what what the most important item from the commissary that can be used as currency at the Leon County Jail. I'm not up on all that from Leon County, so I'm not exactly sure. But to me, it seems like this sounds like some made up baloney that Donna came up with at the 25th hour. And I just, I don't know. I mean, she's got a right to a trial and all that. And, and I believe in the Constitution, and that goes without saying, but Donna's just not a good human being. She's just bad. And I just wish that she would take accountability and do her time and just be quiet.
Is that they may be unable to appear to testify. We certainly understand subpart 6 of the rule that no deposition shall be used or read into evidence when the attendance of the witness can be procured. We're certainly going to attempt to serve them. We're going to make a good faith basis to get them to be physically present so that we don't have to use their deposition for perpetuating testimony at trial. However, in the abundance of caution and to prevent the failure of justice, given the nature of the statements that these women have repeated to us from Ms. Magbanua, we believe that it was appropriate and necessary to attempt to preserve their testimony. There's also case law out there, Your Honor, that finds that it's ineffective assistance to counsel not to make this attempt. And it's also reversible error for the court to deny a motion to perpetuate testimony when the anticipated testimony is both admissible and material.
All right. As to the issue of whether these women will use drugs again, how is this no different than any other person who has a drug-related crime or background in the county jail?
It's
I
not.
don't necessarily believe that it is, Your Honor, but my experience trying to track somebody down who is actively using drugs in order to serve them and ensure that they are present in court can sometimes be difficult.
Any evidence that you wish to present in support of the motion?
Aside from what we have, Your Honor, if Your Honor would like to hear from Ms. Adelson concerning the statements that they have made, Ms. Fulford is prepared to conduct a brief charge.
Very well.
Yeah, let's hear from old
Ms.
Donna.
Adelson, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, sir.
You can lower your hand. Ms. Fulford, you may direct the witness when you're ready.
Thank you, Judge.
Let's hear this gobbledygook from Donna. Come on.
Ms. Adelson, during the course of your incarceration at Leon County Detention Center, have you become aware or familiar with a witness named Cassidy Conroy?
Yes, I have.
And let me just point out too, because I forgot about this. Not that long ago, maybe 8 months ago, like we're kind of right after Donna had gotten arrested, okay, and charged, right? One of the first few times that she made her appearance in court, she was boo-hooing about how she was kept away from all the other prisoners and she couldn't get, blah, 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 whining and dying, all of the things. This is absolutely ridiculous. But at the end of the day, as much as this hurts my soul to say this, the defense is correct when they say they have to at least make this attempt because it would be an ineffective assistance of counsel if they didn't try to get this testimony. I mean, it is what it is. It's a big fat waste of time. The jury is not going to find these two women credible. It has nothing to do, even if, let's just say, for example, that the judge said, okay, these two women, they can be allowed to testify. And guess what else? Not only are they allowed to testify, but y'all over there at the state table, yes, Georgia leaned up against the jury box over there looking like she's waiting in line for a concert she don't want to go to. Yes, you, ma'am, over there. You and none of your friends over there at the state table can ask these women about why they were in jail with Donna, about any previous. You cannot try to impeach their credibility in any way, shape, or form. Okay. Even if that happened, which of course it won't, but let's just say for argument's sake, it did, right? The story that's going to come out of their mouth is not credible. It does not pass the sniff test. What is it they say in South Carolina? The milk ain't clean. All right, here we go. So let's hear what Donna has to say.
And during your time incarcerated in an area that's close to where Ms. Conroy is also incarcerated, have you engaged in discussions with her where she has indicated that during a time she was previously incarcerated, she was also there in close proximity to state witness Katherine Magbanua?
Yes, she has told me that.
Okay. And during the course of your conversations, have you also learned that Cassidy Conroy has an issue with the use of illegal drugs and an addiction problem?
Yes, she does.
And speaking with her, have you learned that she is going to be released around midnight this Friday, January 31st, or in the early morning hours of February 1st, 2025?
That's what she told me, yes.
And based on the conversations that you have had with her and based on what she has told you, do you have a concern that, in fact, she will be unavailable to testify in your trial in June based on her prior addiction and her comments that she intends to continue her use of drugs when she is released?
Yes.
And during your conversations with Ms. Conroy, has she indicated that while she was incarcerated with Katherine Magbanua, that Ms. Magbanua provided information to her to the effect that she intended to set up the Adelson family in hopes that she would get a reduced sentence after she was convicted?
Objection, leading.
Sustained. This needs to be drawn out as direct questions.
Thank you, Judge. What statements has Ms. Conroy made to you regarding what Ms. Magbanua has said about her hopes of obtaining a reduced sentence?
She said, wait till I come back. I'm going to take care of that family. Wait till they see what they're going to get, and I'm going to get a reduced sentence.
And is it your desire that Ms. Conroy be available to testify at trial regarding the statements that Ms. Magbanua had previously made?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, I'm going to have to stop you right there, Counselor and Donna. Here's the deal. Maybe she did say that, okay? But at the end of the day, right, it is your family that drug her into this, Charlie, right? Because you, Donna, clearly are the idea person right? And Charlie is the enforcer. He made the idea happen. So what he did is he went to Katherine Magbanua. He knew about Katherine Magbanua's baby daddy and his affiliation and all the things, right? So if I were Katherine Magbanua, I'd be salty at y'all too. If I were Katherine Magbanua, none of this would have happened because I wouldn't have helped y'all for nothing. I wouldn't have put y'all in any way, shape, or form. I would not have set my baby daddy, no matter how much I disliked him. I would not set anybody up to get in trouble, and I wouldn't set anybody up to murder. Period. That's it. That's all. I wouldn't be in that situation if I were Katherine Magbanua. But I can see how Katherine Magbanua might have some hard feelings and might be salty towards y'all, okay? And maybe not like you, maybe give y'all a poor Google review, as it were. I can see how she might be mad. But that does not prove what you are trying to say. That does not prove that she set y'all up. Lord Jesus, help it. Here we go.
And likewise, have you become familiar while you're incarcerated at the Leon County Detention Center with Ms. Brittany Purcell?
Yes, I have.
During your discussions with Ms. Purcell, did she indicate whether or not she had prior addiction issues?
Yes, she has.
Based on your conversations with Ms. Purcell, do you know whether she has indicated she continues or intends to continue her use of illegal drugs upon her release?
I take an art class at the jail, and she has said it in the art class as well, that's her intention.
And do you know when it is that Ms. Purcell is supposed to be released from the Leon County Detention Center?
You know, I thought she said early February. I don't know her exact date. I didn't want to question her.
Okay. And based on your discussions
Wait
with
a
her,
minute.
did Ms. Purcell indicate whether she...
Wait. Back the milk truck up. Now, this lady is telling you that Katie Magbanua, okay, has said some things about setting y'all up, how she didn't like the Adelson family, blah, 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 right? That's what you're saying. And you didn't want to question her about her release date? Girl, does that even make sense to y'all? Jenny Wilson says, I like you to know about the case, Jen. Then you can be aware of when the witnesses are lying, etc. That's a good point. All right, we're going to do a recap. We're going to do it. We're going to do, hey, Megan. Hi, everybody coming in. It's so good to see everybody. I meant to say hi, and then I was like, no, I got to stay on task. If I don't, like, if I start to say hi and I'm going to, then I'm going to get distracted, and you guys know how I get, and I'm trying really hard to behave and be on the tasks. All right, but we will chit chat afterwards, faux show. So stick around. This makes not a lick of sense. It's I'm pretty sure, listen, I haven't been, I don't run in the same circles as Donna Adelson, i.e. the art class at the Leon County Jail. Okay. But I would think of all the subjects that you could talk about with your fellow inmates, their release date might just be the safest one. That's what I would think. I don't know though. Let's keep going. We're never going to make it through, because the more poppycock that comes out of this woman's mouth, the more I want to push pause. So I'm going to try real hard, y'all, I promise.
Familiar with Katherine Magbanua from prior incarceration time?
Ms. Adelson, please respond.
I can't hear. Was a question asked? I didn't hear anything.
Sure.
Question again.
Thank you, Judge. During your discussions with Ms. Purcell, has she indicated whether she is familiar with Katherine Magbanua during her prior incarceration at the Leon County Detention Center?
Yes, she did.
Based on your conversations with Ms. Purcell, did she indicate what statements, if any, Ms. Magbanua made to her or in her presence about the Adelson family?
Yes, she's made several statements.
And what were those statements?
Said had her plan worked, she would not be where she is. She would be sitting pretty in Hawaii, drinking a fancy drink. That was one of her statements.
What other statements did she make about setting up either Charlie or yourself or the Adelson family?
The K, they call her, I called her Katie, but they all refer to her as Kay. I guess that's the name she used when she was here. But they said, Brittany said to her that Kay made it very clear that she was blackmailing Charlie, my son.
Okay. All right. Anything further that was said?
Yes, and I guess I should have been prepared. I didn't know I was going to be asked. I'm just a little nervous right now. But she spoke about the tattoo. She spoke about the tattoo that Kay had, and about a tattoo that her child's father had of her with a machine gun, that he put on his body of Katie with a machine gun.
Would it be your desire that at your trial in June, that Ms. Purcell be called as a witness if Ms. Magbanua testifies in the case?
Yes, I would like her to be there, absolutely.
You have concern based on her drug addiction and her intention to continue drug use after she's released that she would be unavailable to testify at your trial?
Yes, that's my concern. It's a big concern.
Yeah, we just moment.
Go ahead.
I don't have any further questions at this time, Judge. Thank you.
Councilman was doing the examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Mrs. Adelson, when did these
Hang on a minute. Let's just take a moment to appreciate Georgia for just 1 second here. All right. Not only is she leaned up against the jury box, like she is in line waiting to go to a concert she don't want to go to, right? But as Donna is testifying, she's taking literally no notes. It's all in her brain, right? And at one point she looks down at her nails like, wonder if I can squeeze in a mani-pedi before I have to go home and make dinner. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All right, Georgia, get her.
women making statements to you in the jail?
Well, at different times over the last, Cassidy was back in October. Brittany was after that. Brittany, I think, was around Thanksgiving. I didn't write down a specific date, but so for the last 2 months or so, 2.5 months.
No further questions.
Any redirect examination.
No, Judge. Thank you.
That will conclude the testimony. Is there any other evidence that the defense wishes to present in support of its motion? There you go. Response from the state.
Judge, the state objects to the defense's motion. We do not think they've laid sufficient grounds for a motion to perpetuate. As Your Honor pointed out, almost all civilian witnesses in criminal cases engage in high-risk behavior and may be unavailable in that sense. I don't think this is any different. We have no evidence to suggest that these were very high at the time or unable to be located at the time that they're asked to testify. So I would object on that basis. Secondly, I think timing wise, I have an objection. I don't think it's fair to the state to bring these witnesses on to us. I learned about them Sunday when the defense motion was filed. I don't think that they've been officially discovered yet. But I learned about them when I got this motion Sunday night and were to depose these witnesses presumably and somehow be prepared to cross-examine them in the next 2 business days. I don't think that's sufficient time for me to prepare an adequate cross-examination, nor to depose them as I have a right to do prior to conducting that cross-examination or sufficiently investigate.
Okay, so here's what the defense wants them to do. All right. First of all, they want to depose these witnesses. Okay. But not only that, they want to be allowed to use their deposition testimony in case they cannot be located at time of trial, which would be June, or they are located at time of trial but are inebriated and therefore in no position to testify. So that's what they're asking for. And I have to say that I agree with Georgia here. Look, there are certain witnesses that if they already have a propensity for drug use, okay, you take your risks, right? You can't guarantee that they will be sober. You can't, but at the same time, who knows? Something might happen between now and June, and these women might be like, you know what, this ain't the life for me. And they go through recovery because that happens too. But I don't think that Donna Adelson's defense should get some type of extra assurances, right? Because these two women are, who have probably been paid in ramen and honey buns to come and testify. I don't think they should get any special accommodations, the end, period. Because this happens all the time in trials, okay? Witnesses are witnesses. Witnesses are going to do whatever it is that they're going to do. They're in no more control. All you can do is subpoena a witness. And if they do not answer their subpoena, then you can give them a bench warrant. But that's it. You don't get special accommodations, Donna.
Them or their stories that I'm just learning today, because as Your Honor pointed out, the testimony and substance was not even present in the motion itself, so we're all just learning about it today. So for all those reasons, I would object to moving forward as suggested by the defense.
Any further argument, Mr. Zellman?
Just one, Your Honor.
What? This is your argument. This is what you want. Why aren't you prepared, bro?
Okay, Your Honor, in respect to the rule,
Here we go.
contrary to the state's position, the standard is may. It's not will be unavailable. I think Your Honor's concerns expressed at the beginning of the hearing would be spot on if the standard were will be unavailable. However, the rule includes language that says may be unavailable. Now, the rule
Yes, to that very point, though, Mr. Zellman, could we not say nearly every trial, someone who's scheduled to testify may be unavailable, therefore now we have this deposition instead of testimony taken under oath?
Isn't that what I just said? You can't control a witness. Humans are humans.
During the trial itself.
yes, Your
I
Honor,
mean, that asteroid could hit Earth. There could be a car crash. There's no extent that could end the maybe unavailable.
it's the language that's
There's a never-ending stream of what ifs that could be possible. I agree with Your Honor. Don't give it to him, Your Honor. By the way, I didn't finish watching all of this all the way, so we're all going to find out what the deal is together.
plain language of the rule, but just because we perpetuate their testimony, there's still a second part of the analysis as to whether or not the perpetuated testimony can be presented in trial, and that's in subparagraph 6. We still have to make an attempt to procure their testimony at trial. This is in the event that we're unable to do that. Your Honor, the temporary investigator took us some time to find somebody who did not have a conflict. We actually had to go to somebody out of town that I've used in the past. She actually works for the Federal Defender's Office in Georgia now. And we didn't get her summary of the interviews that she conducted on Friday.
I don't want to be rude, but nobody cares about your struggles. We all got struggles, man.
Until Saturday. So over the weekend, we obtained that information, prepared the motion of perpetuation of testimony on Sunday, and I emailed to the state Sunday afternoon.
Very well. Having reviewed both the rule, I'm referring to Rule 3.190, subsection I, that concerns motion to take the deposition to perpetuate testimony. Having heard the testimony of Mrs. Adelson today as to the material nature of this testimony and also the argument of the parties, I am prepared to rule. As it concerns the language, may be unable to attend or be prevented from attending a trial or hearing. Mr. Zellman, as it pertains to your argument that it is not will be, but may be, that is well taken. That is the plain language of the rule. I would still say, and I'm interpreting this rule, it has to be something that goes beyond what is merely speculative. These witnesses, while they may have used drugs in the past or may use drugs in the future, that does not render them, based on my reading of this, that they are unable to attend or prevented from attending a hearing, or maybe merely because they may use drugs again. If this were a situation where we were dealing with something such as a military deployment, or someone who is dealing with a grave illness, or something that is more concrete than just this person may use drugs again in the future, I think we'd be on a little more firmer footing. This is, as I find it, speculative that because they've used drugs before or may use drugs again, they cannot testify during trial. These witnesses should be subpoenaed by the defense.
To answer your question, Kay, who says, does anyone know if the boys reside with Dan's parents, or does Dan have siblings? Not to be nosy, I just feel awful for the boys. You know what? I've never actually looked into that. I'm sure that I heard somewhere at some point where the boys are potentially, but it's in the courtroom, Kay, but thank you, babe. No, I did not sneeze. It's in the courtroom. But I actually don't know the answer to that question. And I don't think it's being nosy. I feel like, the boys were, and this, I don't like to say it this way because, gosh, what if they stumbled upon my little channel someday, when they're grown-ups? But they are at the center of this. It's not their fault that their grandmother and their uncle and their mother did any of this stuff, right? It's not, but it was their custody, right? And I worry for them, because I do worry that at some point they are going to, I'm sure it's talked about, right? I don't think it's a secret from them, but you talk about things, you give as much information as a kid can handle at their age, right? So as they get older, more information. But eventually, all human beings want to know for themselves. And because of the internet being forever, I'm sure at some point they're going to want to find it out for themselves. And I mainly just, my hope for the boys is that they don't take this on. They don't feel guilty. And that wherever they are, whomever they're with, they are safe, they are happy, and they are loved. And that's how I feel about that. You know what I mean? Because I just feel awful for them. What's going on with them. I do hope, though, that Wendy is next. I do.
To secure their testimony at a future trial date. If the situation changes where we are no longer dealing with something that is completely speculative, I will readdress the motion, but I am going to deny it.
Your Honor, may I just point out that the statements that both of these witnesses have made indicated their intent to continue to use drugs upon their release.
I mean,
As made to Mrs. Adelson, however, that does not mean that they are going to be unable to attend or prevented from actually showing up for the trial week during June 3rd.
right.
Just
Look, I understand. I get where the defense is coming from, right? Like, they're concerned, okay? But if the majority of their defense hinges on these two. Hang it up now, sir. Hang it up. You better try to talk fast. You better talk quick. You better talk slick and see if you can get your client a plea deal. Okay? Because it is just as likely, right? They've made statements according to Donna that they intend to, to use once they get out of jail. Okay? And that might be true, but there is a long time between February and June, right? This ain't that Jimmy Buffett song, which talks about there being a thin line between Saturday night and Sunday morning. This ain't that, sir. Okay, there's time. So it's equally as possible that they might get out and get turned, right? And it's also just as likely that they might get out, they might get turned, and they might see the error of their ways and decide they don't want to be turned anymore. And they're going to live the sober life. So to try and you can depose them. He didn't say you couldn't depose them, but to try to get their deposition testimony in lieu of, and the reason they want to do this right now is because of where they're at right now. They're currently being housed in the Leon County Jail at the time of this. Okay. And currently they are sober. So there you go. Like, come on, bro. Okay, Donna's about to say something, and I can tell you right now, I want to hear what she has to say, but I don't even care what it is because it's not going to change my mind. I said what I said. All right, let's hear what Donna has to say over there.
One thing.
No.
Miss Adelson, if you could give Miss Fulford or I a call, we can discuss further.
Brittany is homeless. You'll have no way to reach her. She's a homeless person.
Ms. Adelson, stop talking.
He said, Miss Adelson, stop
As to the
talking.
motion for change of venue, are the parties capable of arguing this today as well?
No, Your Honor.
Very well. We are in recess.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That concludes the Zoom hearing for this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let's rewind it back just a scotch. And let's hear what Miss Adelson says. All right, here we go.
Your Honor, may I just say one thing?
No.
Miss Adelson, if you could give Miss Fulford or I a call, we can discuss further.
Brittany is homeless. You'll have no way to reach her. She's a homeless person.
Ms. Adelson, stop talking.
That's my favorite part. Miss Adelson, stop talking. Yes. So there you have it. The judge said no dice. And that'll be that. And of course, the defense is not ready to argue change of venue, even though they want one. I'm going to have to clip that so that when her trial is streamed, and it will because it's Florida, whenever I feel like just we need a little like palate cleanser, it's getting too heavy. Yeah. Miss Adelson, stop talking. That's the best. So that is, in this case, all that I really had for you guys tonight with the Adelson trial coming in June. Again, Megan Boswell's trial is coming up. And I'm thinking that opening statements maybe Thursday is what I'm thinking. I've been keeping up with some of the the local news that's giving updates and whatnot as the jury process goes. But the last one that I watched was like early this afternoon, and it was, I think, recorded like right around lunchtime, like noon. So, okay. Mrs. Adelson, stop tucking. But you see how she asked a question, can I say one thing? And what did the judge say? No. And what did she do? I don't care. I'm going to say what I got to say anyway. And that tells you the way that somebody thinks. It didn't matter. Why even bother to ask if you can say one more thing? If you're just going to say one more thing, regardless of the answer, what is the point? She didn't care. And that does speak, in my opinion anyway, to somebody's state of mind. Like, she is entitled. She has something to say, and she gonna say it, dadgummit, regardless of what anybody tells her to. I'm still laughing just thinking about it. Oh my goodness. All right. So anyway, tonight that's all I have for you guys. But we definitely should do some trial prep. So because one of the things that I looked into with respect to Megan Boswell, because I remember her talking about her traveler routes, that she is a Rome Nichelle gypsy, Rome Nichelle traveler, I should say. I don't like that word. They just use it on that TLC show. There's two of them. There was the Gypsy Sisters, and then My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding. But they're gypsy is actually a slur. The traveler, they're travelers. Anyway, so I remember thinking when her case first happened, I remember wondering, I wonder if she is related to some of the Boswells that are from the show, because there were Boswells on that show. Actually, there were a few Boswells on that show, and I do remember her saying something to the effect of acknowledging that she was a traveler and saying something to the effect of not wanting to really talk about it too much, because something about, like, I don't want people to, it's not like we're a cult or something like that, I believe is what she said, something to that effect. Anyway, I just thought that was really interesting, because I do know some Rum Nichelle travelers and Rumneys, if you will. And so I just thought that was interesting. And I wondered which Boswells they are related to. So anywho, but we'll go into more of that probably. What do you guys think? Tomorrow night sound good? You guys have plans tomorrow night? You want to pencil me in? We can go over Megan Boswell's Long Road to Justice. Gosh, piece of shit. I can't believe her. What she did. Ugh. Anyway, all right. So that's really all I had for you guys tonight. If you have not done so, please do your girl a favor. Give me a thumbs up on the stream. It does keep me in the algorithm, do all the YouTube-y things. Every time I look over at Henry's comments, I saw a question and I thought he was asking me a question, but then I remembered that he is quoting, he's quoting Letitia in her pretext trial. So, which case, Stacey Ann, do you not know anything about the Adelson case, or do you not know anything about the Boswell case? Because if you don't know anything about the Boswell case, Megan Boswell, that is, I'm going to do trial prep starting tomorrow night, and I'll do it all the way leading up to the trial. Okay. And if it's the Adelson case, we have some time before Donna goes to trial. Her trial doesn't start till June. But I'll definitely do get us ready for trial before June. Oh, you don't know anything about the Boswell case? Well, babe, you're in luck, because tomorrow night I'm going to do a trial prep. And so you will be fully prepared and ready to attend trial with us whenever they start, whenever they're finished with jury selection. So I got you. Don't you worry about it. You're going to know all the things, I promise. Okay. All right, you guys, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. Appreciate all of you guys being here. I'm going to let you guys go for tonight, and I will see you back tomorrow night for trial prep. Have a great rest of your evening. Take care, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do. Well, fuck you.
No malicious content or effort was towards it.
No malicious.
Finish her!
Minutes later.
We all do a little mad sometimes.
And you know this, man.